So let me get this straight. They only counted 62% of the votes in LA for mayor, and it's been 2 days. And it's the same for the race for governor, where they only counted about 56%. Well, I just came across something that alleges that Karen Bass gained thousands of votes, while Spencer Pratt and others remained the same exact number. So if you look at the counts before and after, you can see that while she allegedly gained thousands of votes, Spencer Pratt's vote remained exactly the same at this number. So of the 40% of voters reported at this time, Karen Bass picked up 13,000 votes while Pratt gained 0, stuck at 86,323. President Trump took to Truth Social last night, saying that the Democrats are at it again. They're trying to steal the governor of California primary and the mayor of Los Angeles primary away from the two great Republican candidates. Here we go with the very late and massive numbers of mail-in ballots. He then followed up with this one, questioning the delay. Remember when we get election results almost immediately? Well, maybe if the deadline for mail-in ballots in California were on election day and not 7 days after, they wouldn't have room for this break the glass scenario Newsom talked about. Why do we tag Gavin Newsom and ask him what the delay is?
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today. We got to talk about it, man. This situation out in California is outrageous, but should we be surprised? Democrats have had just a stronghold in there in this state for a very long time. And you know why? Because of these types of shenanigans. I was watching something the other day, and the reporter was like, they only need this many votes. The ridiculous part is that we're not in the shutdown anymore. You don't need that many daggone mail-in ballots for a primary. Get your butt up out your house and go and vote. And then they got the deadline 7 days after the fact. This is a recipe for you know what. It's a recipe for it, man. They set it up in a way that they could figure out how many votes they need after 2 or 3 days and say, you know what, boom, we got it. Here we go. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's hear from President Trump.
But we want to be liberal, as they say, or we'll say we want to be progressive. So it's no mail-in ballots. You see that's what's happening in California. They're rigging the election. Now, maybe we caught them, and maybe they won't be able to get away with it. They tried with me. They did it successfully the second time. The third time, we made it too big to rig. Too many votes. They couldn't do it. They can only go. They sort of gave up at about 9:07 when they got slaughtered with the votes that came.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. You can do this in these elections that don't have large turnouts. You can do this in the elections in local areas and things of that nature. And the way they have things set up, hey, we just need to figure out how many actual votes we need. And then they can piece that together, and then magically they'll appear. But the dude that opened the clip up that said that Karen Bass in 1 day received 13,000 additional votes and no one voted for Spencer Pratt, his number didn't move at all. You don't find that suspicious? Because I do. Now, here's CNN hack trying to justify why California does it the way they do. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Why does it take so long to count ballots in California compared to other states? Well, essentially, California leaders have made the decision that it's more important to give more people more time to make last-minute votes than it is to count quickly, where other states have said it's more important to count quickly and not necessarily give people as many options to vote at the last minute.
It's election day. Everybody knew that they had an opportunity to vote for months. They knew this time would come. They knew it. Well, how much more time do you need?
So in California, you can turn your ballot in up until the very last day. As long as it is postmarked by Election Day, there's up to 7 days for that to come to a vote processing center like this one to be counted. Also, we mail ballots to every single registered voter in the state. Right now, about 80% of voters return their ballots by mail. Each one of them has to go through a signature verification process. If there's a problem in the signature verification process, then you're alerted and you have 10 days to fix that process to come what's called cure your ballot. All that takes time. Eventually, all those ballots come here where they are officially counted. But the whole process takes about 3 weeks, which is longer than most states who don't do most of that, and by the way, have a lot less people. LA County alone has 5.9 million registered voters, which is more voters than 41 other states. So there's a lot of vote by mail, there's a lot of steps to prevent fraud, and all that takes a lot of time, which is why California moves so slow. To speed up that process would include changing the laws in order to make that happen. But because of that, we haven't changed the laws. Right now, we do not know who's advancing in the race for LA mayor or the race for California governor.
Every single person in California, they have 40 million people. So they send out 40 million paper ballots. That's insane. That is insane. Think about the waste there. All these quote unquote eco-friendly environmental nuts are okay with sending 40 million ballots instead of making people actually go to the polls and vote. Yeah, it's by design. You know what time it is. You know why they do this. You know exactly why they do this. This is crazy.
Yes, Steve, congratulations for that showing last night. What do you think about my proposal?
Well, you're completely right. And first of all, Laura, thank you for your engagement in this fight to save California. Really, really appreciate that. It's insane. This election system that they've created here is just another monument to their uselessness, another version of high-speed rail. And just to really underline the point that you made about the corruption, I remember last elections we had here, I had a whistleblower that contacted me from a post office describing that they had different buckets they were supposed to put the ballots in after they come in after election day, and they were explicitly told that it didn't just have to be a postmark that was on or before election day that qualified. If the date was handwritten, that would be okay as well. And you just think, what? It's just unbelievable. And of course, that's why so many people don't believe the results. But it just undermines confidence. So I completely agree with you. There is a case out of Mississippi that I think might help with this, that before the Supreme Court. But the whole thing is insane. I mean, the fact that you're sending out mail ballots to every single person on a voting roll that is wildly inaccurate, even though it's being cleaned up because the Trump Justice Department, thankfully, is bringing lawsuits against California to clean up the voter rolls. There's still a long way to go there. The whole thing is a joke, just like pretty much everything else they try and do here.
Yeah, that sounds crazy, man. Sounds insane.
Well, what Hilton is talking about is the way California has changed its election laws as of today, right? You got 58 counties, you got 1,700 drop boxes, you got 23 million registered voters, and everyone gets a mail ballot as of 2021. And that's the way they've been doing it in California. Now you got to match the signatures, and all this takes an extraordinary amount of time. Nonetheless, 56% of the vote is still out. That dropped a little bit from yesterday. We'll explain that in a moment here. Hilton in the lead, Becerra second, and Tom Steyer third. It's my sense that all three of them moved up slightly overnight, maybe about two tenths of a point for all three of them. Meanwhile, in the mayor's race, here's where we stand. Karen Bass has advanced. You've got almost 40% of the outstanding votes still out there. And Pratt is in second place, holding his own. Nithya Rama now is in third place. Some of our analysis from overnight of the late vote that's coming in tends toward the Democrat. So that would favor Raman and would hurt Pratt if that trend were to continue. But where does it go? Carl Rove is with me now to talk about this. Carl, you have...
How does Karen Bass get 35% of the daggone vote? I mean, how? I mean, this makes absolutely no sense. The city of LA is in shambles right now. And you got that many people that have decided, well over 100,000 people have decided that Karen Bass should keep the job. Now, we saw the video last week of the one lady, that said that she's supporting Karen Bass for none other than the fact that she's Black. Who cares, what's going on in the city? Who cares that you have open air drug markets, drug addicts, with no clothes on, doing drugs right outside of schools and near kids? Who cares? Doesn't matter. We got to vote for this lady because she's Black. These people, the liberals, man, black and white, man, they're going to be the death of our nation, man.
Our media is, and I really do. While we're here, I hope the media looks at this election that's taking place in California, where they think it'll take 7 or 8 days to count the votes. Can you believe this? I mean, they spend all that money on the machines, the big voting machines. They think it's going to be 7 or 8 days before we know who won the election. But the numbers are looking strange because without any vote counting, the numbers dropped very precipitously for 2 Republicans that are doing well, that had been doing well. And I hope you're all watching it because I'm watching it very closely.
Yeah, it's very weird and very strange. And the president, he's on it. He's absolutely on it. And I think everybody knows. I think everybody knows the game that the Democrat Party plays, especially out there in California. I think everybody knows. And that's why they've had the stronghold the way they've had it. And to be honest with you, that's why it seems like, a Karen Bass and some of these other folks, they don't care. They look very, very relaxed because they know that they have the system on their side at this point. And it's a sad state. But if this thing turns out the way we think it's going to turn out, something's got to give, man. There's got to be a full-fledged investigation as to what's going on. And something needs to give in the sense of how California does this voting thing, even in the sense of with these, general primaries, which I think is ridiculous. So you'll get to the primary and then, you just basically have 2 Democrats, running for these seats. It makes absolutely no sense the way they do this out in California, man. It makes no sense.
30 Eastern time, 8:30 local time in LA. We are going to get a giant batch of vote reported out all at once. You're going to go from seeing no results to seeing like half the vote for this election. Now, what that's going to be is, remember, in California, most of the voting is conducted by mail. So the ballots that have been coming in up to Election Day, the election officials are able to process those, turn those around, and basically report them out pretty quickly after poll closing. So we're going to get a giant batch, probably about a half an hour after polls close. And then probably within a half an hour or so of that, the votes that were cast in person, there are still some folks who go and vote in person today, that'll get added.
I still can't believe this, man. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that the majority of the state votes via mail-in ballot. That is the craziest thing ever, man. It makes no sense, man. Makes no sense that they continue to do it this way.
So obviously Spencer Pratt should be going to the runoff. But I don't know about you. I have a very bad feeling about the corruption right now in Los Angeles with this bullshit mail-in ballot nonsense. They're saying they have 322,000 mail-in ballots they're waiting on. And just like a day ago, it was way less than that. Come on, Jesus. Come on. How do you guys feel?
Yeah. I think I feel the same way that a lot of folks out there feel, on the right, that something is off. Something's very fishy. And the thing is that, when it looks like something is wrong, when it looks like shenanigans are happening, more times than not, that is the case. But the word on the street is this is what California has been doing for quite some time. California Democrats, this is what they've been doing for quite some time, out there is, hey, rigging it up. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.